It's a long time.
First question, back right, fifth row.
Kelly Eco, The Athletic. Alex, it seems to me like you are the hybrid player in terms of being small enough to be able to hang with other guards defensively, but also being aggressive enough to, attack the passing lanes and on the offensive side, be able to, if you want to slip a screen or attack the paint. Why do you think that works so well in the system with you and Mark?
Yeah, I think just through my career, I figured out that I can do stuff that's not necessarily sexy or not necessarily like the mainstream, you know, offensive skill set or even defensive skill set that people recognize. And I kind of just leaned into it. I kind of practiced being great at the stuff that nobody else does and carving a role for myself in the league. And I think through the years, I've just kind of perfected that stuff.
Tim, all the way in the back.
Alex, Tim Reynolds with the AP. When Isaiah was in here, he revealed that there was some difficulty getting the corks out of the bottles and that you had to do some educating.
Yeah.
Is there any more of a better indicator of how young of a team this really is?
Yeah, and we didn't do it all at the same time until like the third try. I tried my best when we got in there. I was like, all right, let's get a head count. Like, let's make sure everyone's here before we do the first one. And through the learning experience of taking the foil off, undoing the metal, and having the cork ready, there's like 3 or 4 guys that popped their corks, and then it happened again, and we were like, all right, look at Flags Baby. Look at Flags Baby in the back. We went through the process a couple of times, and eventually we got everybody on the same page. But yeah, it was a good first try. We'll get some rest, reset, try to go again next year, and see if we can do it again, and we'll be better. We'll be better next year.
A real question as well, if you don't mind. A championship is a championship, but there were 70 people in the gym when you won your first one.
Yeah.
How much better? Does
Probably
this
like
one
150,
feel?
but
maybe 100, maybe even 200. But
maybe.
How much better does this one feel?
Yeah, now I got a real one. Now nobody can say anything. Yeah, I think just because of the way the team is constructed now versus the team I had in 2020, like it was much harder with this team just because of the experience, right? And everybody talked about you need experience to win a championship, and you need this, that, and the other. And I said multiple times through the postseason with this team that the good basketball is good basketball, winning basketball is winning basketball, and the best team can win no matter what happens if you go out there and execute and do the stuff that you need to do to win the game. And I think through the playoffs, this team grew up and learned on the fly, which most teams have to learn through losses and learn through defeat. And I think this team learned through success. And it's a unique capability to be able to do that for, 21 to 27-year-old kids. And for me, I've seen greats do it, so I knew the way, I knew the mindset. But to see these guys do it, man, it's really cool to see it in person, and I'm so happy for the guys just to be able to figure it out and to be able to get this done.
Howard on the left.
Howard Beck from The Ringer. Alex, you mentioned being part of one of these before with a veteran team. This is a much younger team, and you also have seen how hard it is
slightly.
to keep a team together and try to make a run. Is it, I know it's just still in the moment, but is it tempting to think about, given the youth and all the development that could still happen here, of how much more could be ahead of this team, how much more success?
Yeah, I mean, at this moment right now, I'm not thinking about much. I'm thinking about succeeding and winning and celebrating with my brothers. But, yeah, I mean, you're not guaranteed anything in the league, and I think that's the biggest thing that happens year to year that people forget about. You have any moment your team can change with a trade, with an injury, with something that's out of your control. To be able to get to the pinnacle of the sport and win it is, nothing short of extraordinary. And to think that you can just walk in and do it every single year is a little bit naive, but be rest assured we'll show up day one next year ready to get better and ready to chase this again.
Again on the left.
Whenever you won in 20, LeBron was the leader of the team and arguably the leader of the NBA at that point. Just talking about Shea and his leadership of this team, Can you just talk about, his potential of being someone like a LeBron James that not only could be the leader of a team, a championship team, but eventually the leader of the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, comparing to LeBron is a crazy start just because LeBron was anointed at 18 years old and surpassed everything that has ever been put in front of him. But as far as, like face of the league and best player on best team, he's got that capability. I mean, clearly the year he's had, MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, champion. I don't think anybody in here would question his ability, and I think the thing that sets him apart is he'll probably be hungry for more. He probably won't be satisfied with just winning this one time. He'll want to do it again. He'll want to be better. He'll want to see how he can tweak and maneuver his game to better fit and take advantage of the way people guard him. And that's just a special ability that he has mentally to be competitive and want to be great.
Jenny?
Alex, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Mark might be one of the most even-keeled people on the planet.
Did he smile tonight when he came and talked to y'all?
We haven't seen him yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a report later.
Please do.
But very low-key. Did you see him crack at all? Emotions and all of this? Or did he maintain? And what does that sort of just say about his imprint on this team?
No, I mean, he's, he won Coach of the Year, was it last year, I think? And arguably could have been again this year, but, that's like a year in, year. They don't give that back-to-back to coaches. That's not a thing. Man, his ability to collaborate with his assistants and then come together and have a clear, concise message for us is second to none. He does a great job of pushing buttons when he needs to push buttons. He does a great job of figuring out solutions to problems. And then he does a great job of, holding people accountable, which is a huge thing in the NBA. Because, we talked about Shazier. He's MVP. He's Finals MVP, all that stuff. And he told him how he needed to play better after Game 6, and he was really sticky, and he needed to move the ball. And Shea had, 12, 13 assists, probably a season high for him, and on top of doing all the stuff that he normally does. And I think that's one of the unique things that Mark brings to, the coaching aspect is just his ability to not really care about quota, his what the status quo is. He's going to coach how he knows to coach, and it's the same way that he coached me when I was on the G League 9 years ago, and that's probably the reason that he's had his success as he has, is he's been true to himself.
Barry, straight ahead.
Tulsa World. You guys played a pretty good defensive first half. You start the second half. Indiana goes 4.5 minutes without scoring. Seemed really out of sorts.
Start the third?
To start the third quarter,
Yeah.
yeah. What did you guys do start that second half that really turned up the defensive pressure?
Yeah, I mean, the game just came down to winning coverages and then winning closeouts. I think in the beginning of the game, we did a really good job of closing out to their guys and taking away shots, but then also winning drives, and then got a little loose late first, early second. And then to start the third, we kind of knew what it was. We held them to 48, and Nembhard hit a 30-foot step back at the half. So you can't be too mad and too upset about defensive intensity and execution in the first half. We knew that it was probably going to be more offensive stuff that was going to open the game up for us. But even saying that, our defensive mindset and just execution, start of the third and then start of the fourth. They were at 68 for a long time, start of the fourth, which gave us that separation, which we've talked about in this series, that they're going to make runs. They're a good team. They don't give up. They play with heart, and they made a run. But we had to score at 20 instead of 10, and so then it wasn't a 1-2 point game. It was still a 10, 11, 12 point game, and I think that's really what gave us that window to win the game.
Last two questions in the center and on the right.
Valencia King, Real Talk Sports. Alex, you mentioned a few games ago not to congratulate you earlier, so officially
Yeah, thank
congratulations.
you. Appreciate that.
Of course. My question is, we talked to you a lot about your veteranship on this team, but I'm curious, as a veteran, what have you learned throughout this journey from the young guys, whether it's new music, new dance moves, even non-basketball related?
Yeah, no, I'm still pretty in tune with the music. They make TikToks, and I've abstained from that. I might get roped into one of those in the coming days just because of happenstance. But this group has like a, you know, I talked about it up on the stage after the game. They have a joy about them. They have a unique maturity that comes with, you know, a lack of experience that's rare. And I think just being able to show up and everybody accepts everybody for who they are and able to be themselves and really impact the game and impact the team with who they are naturally, it goes a long way. And I think it really helped us through the year and then obviously through the playoffs.
Last question, second row on the right.
Hi, Alex. Leandro Sarhan, ESPN Brazil. A lot of us talked about the full circle moment of you playing the G League for the Thunder and now you're a champion for the team. How much more special does that feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, this isn't something that I take for granted. You know, like multiple times, like after we won, like I'm bouncing, I'm jumping up and down with joy, and it's something that winning a championship is so hard at any level, and especially at the NBA level, because it takes so much. It takes you know, so many different people doing their jobs at a high level, and I'm a very present person, so it's hard sometimes to understand and think back to, like, man, I was in the G League and like I wasn't even in the NBA, and I had to go to Summer League, and I had to go to G League elite camps, I had to go to Portsmouth, I had to do all these things just to get, you know, the invitation to get to an NBA team, and then from there I had more work to do, and then from there I had to work for a second contract, and the second contract I had to work to get to a team like this to be a capable winner and champion winner. So it's something that like I said, I don't take for granted, but, you know, immense pride. It's something that I'll celebrate with my family and my fiance and my close friends, my agent, like people that have been there with me through the journey, that have seen me through the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, just people that have really supported me from the start.
Thank you, Alex.